That's pretty cool. And it looks like they moved some of the electronics around too, like where the ABS module was and the servo and so. Well, servo's got to be on that side. ABS was on. Well, ABS. Well, this is that side. Okay, servo ABS is here. Servo was below that. Oh, they don't have two reservoirs no more, right? Yeah, one reservoir only.
Yeah, just one, I think.
Okay. The front looks the same. Um, so same air filter, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Okay.
it's the same air filter from what I saw.
Everything else is totally different. Cool. But yeah, this is definitely taller now. Again, I don't know how they make it taller. I would have to lift it up and measure the shock, the fork, just to see if the forks are actually longer, because this sticks out about 5 mil here. The old one sticks out about 4 mil. So it does protrude a little longer. Buttons are new. Yeah, all the controls are new. It doesn't have the writings on there anymore, but oh, modes are here. Okay, so this housing is completely new. I'm assuming this housing is on some of the new bike, but it's new on Panigale. Clutch, same, looks like. Brake, same. The throttle, it's what comes on the V4R now. Cool. Because all the other ones were the same, so on that V4R is the first time they put a new throttle position sensor up here. So this is what the new V4R uses. Normal play, so you don't have to get that Ducati spacers anymore because the plays are gone. I mean, there's still a little bit, which is normal, but not as bad as it used to be. And very snappy. It returns great. It sounds awesome. Yeah, I mean, essentially, this is the new gen. They throw everything, and I think that's the trend. Well, that's the path. They would build up the V4, V4S, and then they throw you with a V4R, which is their newest and everything better, blah, blah, blah. And then on the next V4 and V4S, they'll bring stuff over from the V4R and implement it on the newer model. And then they'll build this up and collect all the data on this one and then put it on the next R. That's kind of like the circle, the life circle that Ducati does. It's cool. I mean,
So this basically has all of the best from the last.
yes, this is the best of the best right now. Even they grab whatever they can. I think the engine too, the internal has something.
It's different a little.
I think the internal was DLC coated, diamond-like coating, just certain component, just like the V4R has. And I think this one wraps higher now. I'm not sure compared to the other V4, the older V4. Not as high as 16.5 on the V4R, but I think this one wraps a little higher now because of certain component technology that they brought over from the V4R. So yeah, this has all the newest right now, the latest, the best. It's in this package, and then they take it from here, and then develop more and put it on the next R, and then just repeats itself. I would have to ride it on a track to tell whether the dual swing arm, but on the street, nobody could tell me, oh, I feel the difference. No, I don't believe that unless you're pro rider. Different story.
Oh, you know I'm an expert.
Ordinary guy. Oh, I feel the difference. No, you don't feel shit on the street. You're not pushing the bike.
Yeah, you would have to be riding really, really.
You even for the Canyons, like you're not at that lean angle. You're not at that speed. Even on the mountains. I mean, some will argue, oh, we have the crazy twisties, blah blah blah. It's not the track. The regular roads are built for you to go home. Tracks are built to mess around with you. You know, it's different because roads are humanly designed. Okay, this is what we got. Let's make the safest possible out of whatever we got, mountain, whatever. The track is they take a piece of land and say, well, let's design something that's difficult, right?
Yes.
So, two different aspects. You could argue, oh, we got the craziest twisties, you know, I could push it to the limit. No, you're not pushing shit to the limit, you know? On the regular road. So nobody could say, like I said, unless you're a pro rider, that's out of the question. But ordinary people, owner, even track guys, you know, you can't really feel this swing arm to the extent on the road. Yeah, you might be able to feel if you're experienced and you're good, you know, track guys, you might be able to feel the input that the bike gives you, the feedback the bike gives you, right? Versus the single-sided swing arm. But this is supposed to be stiffer. That's why they made the dual swing arm. They want to put the rear wheel to the floor. They want to hold it there. They want to transfer all the power that comes out of the rear wheel and put it directly to the pavement as possible. So in terms of that, how you make it stiffer. But they make it stiffer, but also lighter by opening up all these holes. Now, are they going to run this swing arm, this exact swing arm at WSBK? No.
You don't think so?
No.
Basically a version of it.
Well, they have to make dual swing arm available on the bikes, and then you could put a different kind of dual swing arm, longer. Usually that's the case, longer, because wheelie and, like I said, make the bike putting the power to the ground is what they're intended to do. But this particular swing arm, no. On a super bike, no. On the stock 1000, yes, because you can't change that. On a super bike, no. That's not going to be what they're using. But then they could now put a different kind of dual swing arm on the super bike for next year. Well, after the next R comes out. Even on the R, like current super bike, they're not running that swing arm. They're running a longer Ducati Corsa swing arm, and you can tell it's silver, and it's longer. It's not that swing arm. They did it like this so that it's for homologation, and then they could do whatever they want.
And do a derivative of it.
Yeah. The front end is also controversial, right?
Yeah.
The swing arm and then the front end is controversial. Now, just like everything else, it's new. It takes time.
It took me a minute.
It's new. It takes time. It's got a concave to it, so it's not a flat cut. I mean, yeah, this is great. You know, it's in there and whatnot, and this is definitely different. You can see it looks like they're super sport lineup. It looks like they're older Panigales, but you know, hey, you got to be able to adapt a change, right, and get over it. And you got the air scoop here too. So look, okay. What are these black lines?
So I've seen versions of this bike where the turn signals are in there.
Oh, so non-U.S. market, just like the Aprilia.
Yep.
Turn signal is not here.
No.
Turn signal is here.
Just on the outside, actually, the outskirts.
Oh, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe that's what the line is for. Here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not a line. That's some kind of electrical stuff. Okay, cool. And then look, I mean, this is so track focused. Like they literally designed the whole bike and say, "Oh shoot, we forgot the mirrors." Now they go in and said, "All right, we're gonna make a curved mirror." Like, what other bikes you see a mirror like that? This is almost a 90-degree bend. It's like, we can't put it here because we forgot, right? So what do we do now? We're gonna put it inside. Well, how do you get it out? We're gonna make a bent like that. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. So much easier. No more blocking. No more black off plate, right? So how do you take this off? I'm assuming you take
From these two screws on the inside.
right here.
Yeah, that's it. They come right out.
Oh, cool. I mean, the older one, that one is easy enough. Same thing, 2 bolts underneath the fairing, obviously, and it comes out this way. It's already easy. It's easy enough, but then, yeah, they make this seamless now. That's cool. New grip, very nice. Same bar end. New seat style. Well, old design, but new style for the Panigale because this one bolt here. I like that. I didn't like that where you have to flip this open, like you have to fold this over, just like the Yamaha or a lot of other bikes where you have to fold it, like the bolt is underneath the seat. I don't like that. I don't like the nature. That's unnatural to me. This is natural. It's right here. Cool. Keys here. This pops off, I'm assuming. Okay. Tail tidy, shorter now.
Yeah, they made that way shorter than
Mhm.
before.
Yeah. Hudson Valley. This is 520 now, so for you guys that want to go chain, you don't have to change your sprocket. Well, there's no longer a 520 conversion other than just replace the chain for whatever chain you want. The sprocket's it's 520, so the sprocket and the front sprocket is good to go as it is. And it's a DID 41T.
You know what's so funny? I think Ducati's doing that new because my RVE,
Uh-huh.
it's a DID chain 2 on it already.
No, it's Ducati. It is a DID chain. It was always a DID chain, even on the older one. Even on the older one, it's already a 520. It's a 525 DID chain as well. But I'm saying it's a DID sprocket.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
both.
Oh, really?
The sprocket and the chain.
Oh, no, I meant the older sprocket wasn't a DID. Now it's DID.
Okay.
The chain was DID. The sprocket on the older one wasn't DID. Now it's DID. Now the only thing I don't like, because on look at all these markings. They put it up top. Normally, it's over here and it's hard to see. You have to go like this, right, and turn.
Yeah.
But Ducati is like, you know what? No, we're not making you do that. We're gonna have you position right here, and you can read it like downward. So, yeah, it's really nice. The markings up top. The only thing, like I said, I don't like about it is that spools, because this is gonna snap on the track.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever is gonna come out with a design to have a GP hook somewhere, they would have to first they would have to design to incorporate to the chain adjuster. So maybe like somewhere back here where it has or somewhere, yeah, like somewhere down here, and have a GP hook machine into the chain adjuster as one piece, and then you could use the GP lift from the back here. So instead of using the spool, because street, no problem. On the track, when you go down, this boom snaps off, and when this snaps off, normally a lot of times you would have to deal with the broken bolt that's inside, and that's what I don't like about spools. That's why if I could run GP lift, I run GP lift. But like I said, street, no problem. Just a little bit of Loctite, not too much Loctite. Why? Because for the track guys, if this snap and you got to fight the Loctite and the broken bolt to try to get it out, and if you got red on there, whatever, it's a pain. You would have to tap it out, whatnot. Does it have? Is it through? No, it's not through. Well, we don't know what's under this cover. Maybe it's through, and if it's through, then you could get a plier in there. As long as there's extra material that sticks out from the back, then you could get a plier in there or a vice grip in there and just turn it out all the way out. But just a little bit of Loctite, a little bit of blue, so it doesn't get vibration off, and get EvoTech performance. They're good.